See me more about Edward Daily Update TV so. And then I will show you made in and subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share. If I comment, share comment section, but you pray now you can make it for an every phone and so to be. Speaker Kasa, was it one I just say? Was it if he disagree, that is permitted by the law. Secondly, one I just say if the Supreme Court is supreme, so if he say anything, he must obey. As the Supreme Court one, he's a lawyer by profession, no doubt. Yeah, and me and you mean him say, a year when him say, a year Abamba be a lawyer by profession. Because the Supreme Court or a Barbie D case order. Or no Abba Supreme Court, a Barbie D case, Abba case so. It was Supreme Court. One guy the Supreme Court supreme that whatever the Supreme Court say, he must obey. And he's that agree because the law is permitted him. Hey, Speaker. Oh yeah, like on a more serious note, Speaker NJ stay off execution of the Supreme Court because Speaker is a lawyer by professional. So he don't just take decision which will be a constitutional breach. So he take decision based on the Constitution and based on the articles provided by the Constitution and the standing orders. And what I just say, Supreme Court is not supreme for him to obey any rule. And he's a lawyer by profession, by calling, by what? By authority, by certificate, by what? By institution. Because after your markings, every judge said the Yera, I know guys a sad time crown no war Supreme Court or call we case or could D case it was Supreme Court. Where were you? Some of you, where were you? Or because I say indirectly or patches I federal workers oh now where you shot into okay say some of you that were going to Supreme Court, where were you? But then you are no like Speaker was very wise. Or patches you where were you when I was what handling case in Supreme Court? You were a little boy, you were a young boy, because Speaker, let's put everything aside on the more serious note. Speaker is a matured in this public servant work because he has been in Parliament for so many years. He's a professor, a profession lawyer by profession. So whatever Speaker says in Parliament, it doesn't say you can't say Speaker anymore, but to his limited, he will name. These are the petty and the minor things. He know the law. And go video Niente Alaska the Niente Alaska the Dome and some of what the Maya just I daily update TV. So 24/7 we give you the best. Subscribing. Let's share you made no more new episode and sign your day and Kevin. Daily update TV. So yes, we give you the best. Let me show.
No, I disagree with that. And that is permitted by law. So when you tell me that it means that the Supreme Court is supreme. And so when it orders, I must obey. When I know the same Supreme Court can disorder, you have to raise a question back. I'm a lawyer by profession. And the first time I appeared in the Supreme Court was 1983. 1983. That was my first case in the Supreme Court. I don't know whether those who are going there now were born, but it's okay. The last one is when I was young, I think when we were in the senior high, we were not calling it senior high, we were calling it secondary school. There was some song, it's too late to say that you are sorry. After you broken my heart, when I needed you to satisfy my soul, you turn your back and said,
now I think we should add singer to Mr. Speaker's because the skills keep adding as we go along. I said he was an old woman in an old man's skin. He refused, but And so I think that you'd all agree with me that we've had a very fruitful good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, may I also acknowledge that Daily Graphic Online, Class FM, Channel 1 TV, Onua TV and FM, Newz@gh.com live, and many other news portals are streaming live. Like I indicated, we are truly grateful. Mr. Speaker has said that he's grateful. As we bring proceedings to a close, Mohammed Nyagzi will give us the closing prayer. But before that, the Deputy Clerk in charge of Legislative Management, Camilo Puamang, will officially thank us, and then Mohammed will thank Allah.
Alaska the dawn. Oh, Phyllis, Papa.
Now, when the MPP play on the intelligence of Ghanaians. Now, what party I was saying today, Abu Suno. And I was saying, yes, setting the record straight. Now, Ghana for who said the MPP cannot take us for a ride.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
Now, Munamuko court. Because Parliament, I am master on its own. But the same is a court no grammar. Our court of public opinion is an extension of the MPP headquarters indeed. Bibi biara ni Ghana court. Bibi biara ni Ghana court. Constitution ama kwine. Say Parliament our recessor. You kwaya ya first or you recall Parliament.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
And now wait to me for some process. I recall Parliament by year. We want call Parliament.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
Now make you reason to your MPP ayasa. And Ghanaians must punish them because Prophet Elijah Kofikin Akachira say Nanado will leave the presidency with a lot of shame.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
The MPP were in the greatest shock because Mamia obe preach turum adema wam now. Wobo anobazo wini obe bua wam election when mamine lusu.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
Enti osofo brobe echicho muhunum eno ewo wam ene MPP for na.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
Now I will say Facebook because the speaker got tenase no. Yehwe the AC na be me explaining chira. The laka chira wo say aha no ye chire nsem ama bibia so ye kama. Medical board, Dr. Samuel Foswampo for Professor J. Nana need the campaign team. I want the voter region specifically hoy at the Cheremo.
Hey, Alaska the dawn. And same way we are bossy.
If you can't tell me Obisa Alaska Tennessee, we might Yentia Speaker of Parliament. And the number 3 man, what's it there?
Unfortunately, the signatories who made the request have not shown up, and therefore matters that they wanted us to handle which are admitted for the consideration of the business committee are not on the order paper, and in fact there's no order paper for today because the business committee could not meet due to the absence of the people who requested for the recall. And as you can see, one side of the house is completely empty. In view of this, we have, as usual, got a quorum to sit, but we have no business before us to transact, because the business committee, as you know, they prepare a report, and this report is adopted by the House as business agreed by the House to transact during the course of the week. In the absence of that, there is no other authority that can put business before you, which you have not adopted to transact. In view of the failure of the business committee to sit, as a result of the refusal of those who requested for the recall to show up, we are compelled to once again adjourn the sitting of the House. Knowing the challenges we are facing, it is not advisable to be adjourning from day to day. And so I'll proceed once more to adjourn the meeting indefinitely. And the meeting, this extraordinary meeting, is accordingly adjourned.
Alaska the dawn. Oh, Phyllis, Papa.
Now, to the good people of Ghana, enter the chamber. That we should share in that chaos theater with them. Never. We will not. MPP will not. We will not. Therefore, don't be swayed by their lies and their propaganda. The chaos they started is what they want to end. We will. As I say, Ayo party ba.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
So what kind of rule of law are you talking about? They just want to get public sympathy, but you are armed robbers, you are criminals.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
I'm saying on Facebook, young cutting cut here. Na do I on one state you. And now Fananado state you do to Sufa Mami.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
Democracy, you find show be against how. Send me person me yes state you. If young Quanta a hospital. Na ye. I don't know why yes state you FNC a cathedral.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
Fananado to su F Mami na me twamuaba.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
Mibajo na we idea. We Ezazi. Adeba de no.
Alaska the Dawn. Oh, Phyllis, Papa.
I feel quanta for where mu ade we na do mu betu mrika. Yeah. Bra Facebook. Bra Facebook out of them official. Okay. Me ba cho for one two of them. For police ni na. Now you see on my na ye wo mu no. Na so me te say police ni bi. I endorse JM our Kaswa o say den. Now IGP I investigation. IGP bra Facebook na me man free one. Police ni na odi asa eka oye normal one o to abama bawomia bra Facebook.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
It is any power your police no police uniform. Bra Facebook yanko. Yeah, police ni no. Yeah. No, bra Facebook. Yeah. Police ni no. Oh yeah, normal one no. Yeah.
Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
You see, me see Omeni Begwasiba. So you see, they cannot hide their political affiliation. So as the Supreme Court justices. Nipa 5 ya duma kotamu ya MPP 4. Mudi anka 2 kurampo anka so where the yanunya nanka 3 nako akoye 3-2. A simple majority. But woman yina sani so osununti.
Hey, Alaska the Dawn. And same way we about.
But me tell me won't come and I will cover issues with Hanum.
Yes, na don't my and I was the brain was it don't was it the brain chilling and I want to be and I want in books and I must see the brain I'm in Shram
92.3 FM. Yep. Now I will say about Koba. Many Dr. Go America and core values on our Bible. And to make it sure say obecha Bible am America ni bia. Na omenya Bible no na etumi embo afen so family values bill ana Ghana for eya eda Nana do danko Akufo-Addo ne cabinet ana eda ne drawer mu. The same thing Joe Biden ayesa obe revoke because obi ya akwala no your ba o man na with them awa because who to me at the register said the final ama parties no without the summary it will register na the ma wom no nipa hi na wo register no so e ma hi na wom regional breakdown ayesen woman wo proxy ayesen special voting ayesen officer you smart. Nothing would save J Mensa and MPP this time. Well, we will let you for we year 2020 and none of the MPP abedu say. Obi ya election 2016 Emma NPP 169 members of parliament. At the Boma when chrono. What's this would and woman hang parliament and then one kasa mu ya election we and NDC contra parliament want to me anko because election na wo ye ye na ko ye. This time want to me wiemu because court to me njewu. Asoja for no crack bo ho ban etu ne ye hidin ya ombedwane ajawo. So the best thing is do the right thing because your message says either you do the right thing and live or you do the bad thing and die with it.
92.3 FM. Yep.
Right. Dr. Agbozo Atrase. Dr. Agbozo Atrase
said the yepe. Midasi. Alaska. And we share press conference of the speaker.
That's right.
And he is the longest serving member of parliament. When he was the minority leader in parliament, Akufo-Addo was ordinary floor member in parliament. Ordinary floor member. Ordinary because he was not even a ranking member. Abubakar said he was ranking member for foreign affairs of Attorney General. No, he was just ordinary member. Backbencher. Na kunodua prekunu JH men sanu na won nim ho. Na backbencher.
Option de dwuma de nyina abanewe ye. E show ze ni de kwa so be subscribe na wa share dwuma de no ama onwa bi na onwa de so nsa ayden akabi. Daily update so na o hwe. Speaker ade ono ne sem na o kano. Ne sem na o kano. Baba je say ono no Supreme Court no wakọ wache ana ensem na etwago no enye se ono speaker onim de oyo onim but mo me obi an convince say the Supreme Court is a institutional omono mengane say o supreme tino do be kan bia no you must obey. No, I say antisha. When the catcher say the Supreme Court is supreme, so whatever the Supreme Court says, no, he must obey. I was saying, I can't Eddie Wumi pa speaker actually the womb. Am I who say the Supreme Court is supreme, but it doesn't mean that BBR Supreme Court to Nebekebiano. He must obey. David. I say the antisa. Speaker say no the antisa. Antisa cry say the Supreme Court is supreme, you know. The Supreme Court Bekebian also no speaker no OT. Because let's see, I said some of you that are going to Supreme Court, no patcher, our federal markets no they no. Say oh no. Satama no handle case Supreme Court now way. What I say now our federal markets who shakra in the hands of what? Parliament. In the hands of Parliament, who shak because to speaker or you senior. What I say? Or you senior in the house. Until the speaker be we need God bless.